We welcome you all to this health session powered by Dhruva. With us, we have dietitian Divya Gandhi, a certified dietitian with over 13 years of experience. Thank you, Divya, for joining us. During this session, Divya will cover diet that is good for our health, topic related to thyroid, diabetes, insulin. Also, she will address your queries. So in this session, we'll be doing 3 activities. So first, we'll have a quiz question throughout the webinar. One lucky winner who answers all questions will get rupees 1000 voucher. Second, we'll have Q&A session during the webinar. That's like question coming to our chat box. One lucky winner will get rupees 1000 Amazon voucher. And at the end, the third session, in the third activity, we are going to do spin the wheel, and one lucky winner will get Amazon voucher worth rupees 5000. So I would just request everyone to stay tuned throughout the webinar to win exciting prizes. So now I'll not take much of your time and I will just give it to Divya.
What we were talking about insulin resistance. So somebody who is a female, if have insulin resistance, the person will get PCOD or PCOS. Right? If a male will have insulin resistance, the person it will be more prone to having diabetes or any carbohydrate related metabolic disorder. Now, when we talk about diabetes is something which everybody would be knowing. A lot of you might say that you have to take high carbohydrate and high protein diet, but that is something which is not the only thing one should be taking care of when it comes to diabetes. One thing which is very important when we talk about diabetes is the way you cook food. I'm pretty sure that people who are in their 40s and 50s, any of your family members or any of you might be at risk or having diabetes. So one thing which is very important, as I said, is cooking method. We all know that your food is digested in the form of glucose, whatever you're eating. If you're eating protein, if you're eating carbohydrate, if you're eating fat, by end of the day, it will be converted into glucose. So something which is very easy for a person to digest, for example, something which has a liquid consistency like dal will increase your blood sugar level. So here, if we talk about having a protein, will not help you in reducing your blood sugar level because of its consistency. Now, if we'll talk about sprouts, something which will chew, your body will take time to basically digest and release glucose. So your blood sugar levels will go down. So whenever you are doing a diet which includes a diabetic diet, the consistency of food should not be thin. It should be thick. Now we will be talking about something which is getting very common these days, that is fatty liver. Why fatty liver is getting common? One of the reasons is alcohol intake. If I would say not to take alcohol, I'm pretty confident that most of you will either leave this webinar or say that this is not practical. So how a corporate life works, it works in a form that it works in a way that you work for 5 days and then for 2 days you indulge into social drinking. So one thing that we need to take care is that we do not have to make it a habit, number one. Number two, we need to take care that what alcohol we are taking. A lot of people, they take wine thinking that it is healthy. If we talk about wine is not good for people who are diabetic or even hypertensive because it is loaded with sugar. There are 4 alcohols which are carb free. This is gin, whiskey, vodka, and rum. Now, whenever you would be taking alcohol, you need to mind the quantity. Plus, you need to take care of what you're eating with that alcohol. Carbohydrate should not be taken with alcohol. So if you're non-vegetarian, you should be having only chicken or fish. If you are vegetarian, take paneer or mushrooms. Right? So no carb meal will be with alcohol so that the next day you will see that you will not have water retention on your face. Plus, you will see that your weight will also slightly come down. It will not increase your blood pressure because there won't be any sodium retention. Right? Heart rate may go slightly up because that's the nature of alcohol which it causes. Right? So this is the right way to have alcohol so that it should not impact your body type. Now we will be talking about the dietary things. Number one is hypertension. Stress used to be a part of lifestyle earlier when people used to enter their 40s or 50s. But now hypertension is something which is kicking in late 20s or late 30s. So what kind of diet one should be taking? Everybody says don't eat salt. Salt is the culprit. Number one, a lot of you might be taking rock salt. Is it good or is it bad? So, if you ask me, it is something which one should not be taking. Why? Because if you're taking hypertensive medicine and you're having rock salt, then your potassium levels will go up automatically over a period of time, which can cause kidney problems later on. Not in the first year, not in the second year, but later on. As I say, if somebody is hypertensive for 10 years, after 10 years, because of that rock salt and electrolyte imbalance, you will see that the kidney would be impacted. Number two, it's not only the salt which one should be taking care of, it is the mineral what one should be taking. There are two minerals which are very important. One is your potassium. The second one is magnesium. Why potassium? Because I will be coming to that, Praveen. So if you talk about potassium, it is there in your beetroot, it is there in avocados, it is there in banana. So these are the potassium rich food. Even potato for that matter is very high in potassium. So if somebody is hypertensive and non-diabetic, these are the foods that one should be having, especially at night, so that the next day morning the blood pressure will be slightly controlled. And why magnesium? Because magnesium regulates your stress hormone, cortisol's level, which is so common. Everybody would be seeing so much of ads on Instagram and FB. So why magnesium? Because the way we run, sweat, we lose sodium. In the similar way, when we overthink, we lose magnesium, right? बचपन में बोला जाता था कि बादाम खाने से दिमाग तेज होता है. So there is nothing like that बादाम खाने से दिमाग तेज होता है. The only thing is that it is so high in magnesium that it doesn't cause anxiety and can increase the concentration. So you cannot reduce the stress. What you can do is you can only manage the stress through diet by including these chota things, like by having potassium rich food in your diet, by having magnesium rich foods in your diet. And apart from it, if I talk about cholesterol is also very common. So if we see cholesterol report, there are two things. One is your LDL, one is your triglycerides. So you don't see only total cholesterol, you see these two things always. So if your triglycerides are high, means triglycerides accumulate around the arteries. So your triglycerides should not be more than 180. The limit is 150. Keep it below 120. LDL is basically the fat which accumulates on the top of your liver, right? So fatty liver is something which is very easy to reverse. So if your LDL is high, you can be little relaxed because LDL can be very easily reversed. But if your triglycerides are high, you need to take an action quickly because that is something which is a big villain in your health. That is one of the reasons for having more cardiac related issues these days in young people. Young people, I say 40s and 50s, they're even young. So cholesterol is something which should not be ignored. Now, if I talk about a lot of people say that start having detox water, I will be talking about what kind of diet you should be taking on a day-to-day basis and certain hacks which people are following these days and think that they are doing something healthy. Number one, I am sure a lot of you might be taking detox water, right? If I'm not wrong. So is it good or bad? Does it hydrate? Detox water never hydrates. Detox water always dehydrate. What is detoxification? Basically removing toxins from your body. How it is done? It is basically done through urination. So when you will be excessively urinating, you are detoxifying your body. So you will not be hydrated. You will be dehydrated. So when I talk about hydration, it is very, very, very important. The way you do some physical activity, you sweat and you lose weight. When you diet, you lose weight through urine. Water is the source through which one loses weight, right? So toxins are released either through sweat or through urine. But if we keep having detox water on the regular basis, you will lose on energy levels. you will be losing on your sodium levels, which is one of the reasons of having increased Alzheimer and dementia patients these days. Right? So this we talks about hydration. So how can you keep yourself hydrated? By having lemon water with bit of salt into it, not the rock salt, because again, rock salt will detoxify. Just normal salt, and you can add gond ka tira in it. Secondly, you can hydrate by having coconut water. Coconut water is also good for people who are hypertensive, not good for people who are diabetic because it's loaded with sugar. Then you can have lemon water. You can, at times, in case if you're too thirsty, you can still have sodas, but then I'm somebody not in too much favor of having sodas. Reason being because they are carbon dioxide mixed with water. You have those sugar-free sodas, people say I won't gain weight, but still they do because it is gas. Carbon dioxide is something which we take out of our system, and this is something which you would be taking otherwise. And okay, someone is asking about HDL. So good fat is generally increased only when your fat content will reduce, and if you're taking good omega-3 fatty acids in your diet or in the form of supplementation. So I would be coming to that after the hydration part, that omega-3 supplements are good for people who have anxiety, who have stress, who have high cholesterol levels, who want to improve their HDL levels, who have hypothyroid also. So it is a very powerful supplement, or a very powerful thing one should be taking. Having said that, it should be taken under doctor's guidance, because people who are on beta blockers or people who are on any antidepressants should completely avoid it, because there are some certain things which doesn't go with the salts which are there in the depression, anxiety, and hypertensive medicines. Then we will be talking about adaptogenic foods. What are adaptogenic foods? Are foods which are high in magnesium. You see ashwagandha and shilajit getting so common these days. A lot of people are taking it. So if I talk about ashwagandha, people are taking it blindly for so many months. So is it good or is it bad? It is not good, it is not bad. Ashwagandha generally should be taken in very less quantity, plus only for 3 months. So take it for 3 months, then you can leave it for 3 months, take it for 3 months. But having said that, people who have liver issues should completely avoid it. The side effect of ashwagandha for taking a longer period of time is that one can get liver related disorders. So it can be fibrosis, cirrhosis, or it can be some very common liver related issues, like you will get bloating, you will be acidic, you'll get irritable bowel syndromes, all these things. Then comes mindful eating. Why one has to eat mindfully? Because at times, if we are just working, we don't realize how much we are eating. So if you see people who are overweight, they chew very fast. They generally swallow their food. They don't chew it. Right? People who are thin, they take a lot of time in eating because they do a mindful eating. So if you will do mindful eating, you will never be able to gain weight. Your food will be digested in the body. The digestion starts from mouth. So chew your food properly at least 15 to 20 times before you swallow it. You know, the way it's said, eat your food like eat your food in a way, जितने हमारे दांत हैं उतनी बारी हमें उसे chew करना चाहिए. And even while drinking water, chew your water also, so that your body gets that time to digest that food. So make sure you should be chewing your food properly. Now there are certain things on internet, like your apple cider vinegar tablets and Oziva nutritional things. So I will be talking about them. So if I talk about these superfoods or super herbs which are there in the market, ACV. I don't know how many of you would be in favor of it, or you would be taking it, will be in favor or against it. So I'm someone who is not in favor of it. It should not be taken on a daily basis. Why? Number one, it is vinegar. If you remember, in early times, vinegar used to be given only when somebody used to have constipation. Garam pani mein drop of vinegar will clear your stomach. Why not in too much quantity? Because it can cause acidity. Vinegar damages your dental health. Vinegar depletes calcium absorption. It depletes calcium from your bones. So it is something which should not be taken for a long period of time. Bhavna, you want to ask some questions to from the people?
Yes, Divya. Yes. So
Please, please
we'll
start.
take the questions
Sure.
here onwards. Meanwhile, please drop your question in the chat box or the Q&A section. Meanwhile, I'll just pop up a question on your screen.
Sure.
Yeah, the question is on your screen. Please answer. Yeah. Also, anyone who wants to ask any question, please drop your question in the chat box. We'll take the questions from there. Fantastic. We are getting a good numbers of correct answers. Yeah. Ending the poll in another 8 seconds.
So, shall I be answering these questions, or you want any of them? You can ask me, and I will answer the question.
Okay, just a second, Divya. Let me just check this questions and yeah. Yeah, so we can pick the questions from here. Like you can see, Praveen sir is asking what's the correct amount of just what's the correct amount of what's the correct inclusive for dinner potassium and magnesium. Yeah, you can take it from here.
Okay, so for potassium and magnesium, the best food is potatoes, right? But you should not be diabetic. If you are diabetic, then we will not be taking this. However, if you're not diabetic, then potato in dinner with any high fiber roti, like a wheat bran roti, is the best food. It will help you with constipation, magnesium, and your potassium. It will help you in reducing your blood pressure. Plus, one more thing, beetroot roti. So in normal atta, if you grate beetroot, it is a very good source of potassium. It has little less magnesium. So we can have beetroot roti if you're hypertensive. It work like wonders.
I think next we have from Vivek sir, it's how ashwagandha is useful in diabetic patients.
See, because it works on your overall metabolism. Number one, it induces sleep. If you have a good sleep, your metabolism will go up. So the metabolism, the one is your carbohydrate metabolism. Apart from it, it helps in mobilizing your body fat. It's good for liver, provided it is taken for a shorter period of time. Otherwise, it poses an harm and harm. So ashwagandha is good because it improves your carbohydrate metabolism and it is anti-inflammatory. It reduces your body's inflammation and thus making carbohydrate metabolism slightly better.
This is the next question even I want to ask, what food timing one should have considering the office timing for persons? Like,
Okay, so see, it depends. But I would love to tell one thing. Everybody, I used to have a client, she used to say, Ki Divyadi, what is no salt after 7? Is it that body has an alarm ki 7 baje ke baad khaya, so your body will gain fat? So the idea is not 7 o'clock. The idea is sunset. When sun sets, your body reduces melatonin. When melatonin is produced, the body becomes insulin sensitive. So whatever food you are eating after sunset, it will not be properly digested. For example, agar 8 baje sunset ho raha hai, you can eat till 9 o'clock. It is not very dark. If you're eating at 12 o'clock, then your body will not digest it. So there is no time as in the fixed timing. In summers, you have that leverage to eat late because sun sets around 8 o'clock. So you can have your meal at 9 also because it's not very dark. The melatonin production would not be very high at that time. But if you eat at 12 o'clock, 4 hours after sunset, the melatonin production will be at peak. The insulin will be little low, so your body will gain fat or you will get any metabolic disorder. In winters, because sun sets at 6, so try to eat maximum by 7:30. So this is the how you decide the time of your last meal.
okay, that's great. Divya, the next question is from Naresh Jain. What is the good intake to solve problem of constipation for a long time, like Isabol,
It's a good.
Isabol, Isabol, yeah.
Okay, see, constipation is something which is the most difficult thing for somebody to solve. One thing which work like wonders is your ghee water. Warm water and 2.5 ml of ghee in the morning work like wonders because it improves the peristalsis movement. What is peristalsis movement? That is movement of your stool. So it improves the movement of stool. Having said that, it will not show you result after a day. It will show result after 4-5 days of time if you will start having it. If you have the capacity to do malasan, if you drink this water in malasan, trust me, the constipation will vanish and you won't even think that once you had the constipation. Isabgol or any executive, what they do, they reduces absorption of your vitamins and minerals. So if you see a lot of people, they say, "मैं बहुत सारा iron खाती हूँ, my iron level never goes up," right? If you're taking executive, your iron absorption will be low, your potassium will go high, your sodium absorption will be high. So that ways your electrolyte imbalance will happen. So the best thing to have is ghee water. If you're too constipated, warm water with just a drop of normal vinegar will also work. And it will work for sure.
Thank you, Divya. So the next question, I think Luco sir, he has a lot of questions, so I'll take one out of that. So the question is, what are the best assessment or checkups to be taken for person above 45 years of age?
See, number one thing is liver. Liver, or listen to your body. If you're having prolonged acidity or constipation, that is the first sign you will be having any kind of problems, because acidity means your food is not getting digested properly. So one sign which is fatty liver. Liver mobilizes your fat, right? So if your liver is not healthy, later on you will have some kind of metabolic disorder. So you need to get your liver test done. A lot of people, they get ultrasound done on a regular basis, but I would say if you have long working hours, if you eat out often, if you take alcohol, be twice in a week, do get your fibroscan done. If your fibroscan is fine, your liver is fine, you do not have to get any LFT done, or you do not have to get any ultrasound done. Apart from it, hypertension, blood pressure should be controlled, right? Cholesterol should be within range. If your liver is fine, your cholesterol will also be fine. This is one thing. And basic blood test, everybody should get done. Is your thyroid, cholesterol, lipid profile, HbA1c, which is your blood sugar level.
Okay, that's great. Divya, so the next question we have on our screen is, how much water should we drink in a day?
Okay, so number one, it depends if you're fit as in you do not have any medical issue, kidney related issue. 3 liters of water is minimum everybody should be taking. If you do not have any significant PVR or any medical issue, your creatinine is normal, 3 liters, including your tea, coffee, everything. Minimum 3, maximum 4. Your kidney cannot filter more than 4 liters. Technically, it should be 3, so that your body will release toxins automatically. You do not need to detoxify by going on a crash diet or by doing any fruit day diet or leaving carbohydrates, which is too much getting in fashion these days, protein diets. So then your body will be detoxified automatically.
Okay. Next we have a question that asks, please advise something for gluten-free people.
Okay, so a lot of options nowadays. So thanks to Modi ji also for this, because he has made people aware of millets. So a lot of millets are available. We have ragi, jowar, amaranth. You have rice, you have oats, which are gluten free. Apart from it, if you are too fond of having fancy foods, there are gluten free pastas available in market. We have quinoa available in market. And now you get gluten free cookies, which one should not be taking though, because they're loaded with sugar. So a lot of options in the market. Millets are the best option. You have foxtail, you have little millet. So gluten-free diet, millets should be taken by people who have gluten allergy, or they should be taken in moderation. These days, people are not having roti, thinking it is bad, which is causing a lot of gut issues, and which also cause low in energy, because gluten gives you energy. People are going off gluten for no reason. Doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so the next question again from Lucas sir, he's asking any order in how you need to take the different type of food category during meal to control sugar?
Okay, so number one, as I said, sir, to control sugar, I have my expertise in blood sugar levels, so I can reverse anybody's blood sugar. I guarantee, provided it should not be an insulin dependent diabetes, because I can't do the work of pancreas, of course. So for sugar, your dinner should be no carb, right? So it can be besan ka chila, it can be moong ka chila, something which you chew properly. It can't be a dal, because you will swallow it next day, your sugar levels will go up. No matter you are having only vegetable at night, still the next day morning the sugar level will go up. Now I'll come to evening. Evening always have makhanas. Makhanas are very high in protein, very good for people who are diabetic. They are, yes, they are high in potassium also. So if you are hypertensive, that will also work. Lunch, you can have carbohydrates. So as I said, that food for diabetic is something which should not be very soft, right? And I am somebody who generally give a one grain meal to my clients. So have either ragi roti, jowar roti, or bali roti. Out of these three roti, make your vegetable which is dry and not liquid. So like karela, parval, you can have dry ghee also. And a cup of curd. You cannot have lassi, because lassi will increase your blood sugar level. What will happen if you have lassi with your meal? Your body will get energy from that lassi, and the food that you will be taking will be released in the form of glucose. Your sugar levels will go up. We'll come to fruits, which will be the mid-morning. I'm going opposite because this is how I tell my clients also. So mid-morning will be your fruits. Any fruit which you eat and you get juice in the mouth. For example, हम apple खाते हैं और juice आ जाता है. You eat grapes, you will get juice in the mouth, right? For uncontrolled, I'm talking about uncontrolled diabetes. So there are two fruits which do not have juice. One is your jamun, second is your guava. So if you eat it, is you will not. It is completely dry. So try to have only that fruit in mid-morning. And for breakfast again, it should be either protein or combination of protein and carbohydrate. When I say carbohydrate, it should be ragi, bale, or jowar. Any of these three things. You can have quinoa also, but then quinoa is also soft in consistency. Should be avoided in case if it is an uncontrolled diabetes. Try to follow it in 1 week. You will see that blood sugar levels, even if it is 200, it will come back to 100.
Yeah. Next question, Divya will take. Can we take fruits empty stomach?
No,
Okay.
because it will give us sugar spike. So once in a while, it is fine that you want to have mango shake or mango in breakfast or any fruit, but otherwise it should not be the first thing in the morning. Not good for your gut. Anything which is sweet should not be your breakfast. Your breakfast is the most important meal. It should be something salty, because you are breaking your fast. You're eating after 8 hours of sleep. It should be a proper salted meal. No cereal, no fruits for breakfast.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay, the next question that we'll take from Vijay sir. Should you stop taking sugar completely since it is said to cause cancer?
See, I will not completely agree to it. So sugar, white sugar has a lot of sulfur into it, should be avoided completely. But if we talk about jaggery, it does have meetha. So meetha is not sweet, is not good, and increase carcinogenic cells is true. Only if you're having too much of them. So it's not that we are having only sugar. We are having chocolates. We are having bakery also. So 1 teaspoon of sugar in a day will not make any difference.
Okay.
Pure glucose is, food for your brain cells. So 1 teaspoon of sugar is what we used to study way back in college. That 1 teaspoon of sugar will fuel your energy levels, your brain cells. So it is good to be taken. The sugar should be sulfur free. It can be white sulfurless sugar, not more than that. Because fat, if somebody is fat, the fat person will be more prone to having cancer, because of more free radicals in the body.
Okay. So we have a lot of questions coming in, Divya. So Sanjay sir is asking how much of ghee one can consume every day. Like, yeah.
Okay, so ghee. I know that a lot of people, they cook in desi ghee also. So before answering this, you all would be knowing that we should not be reusing oil, cooking oil. बोला जाता है ना, आपने एक बार फ्राई किया, then throw that oil. How ghee is prepared? Ghee is generally prepared by heating. So if you're cooking in desi ghee, you are reheating that ghee. So which is not good for your heart. Ghee should not be, uh, it should be 70 डिग्री से ज्यादा उसको हम नहीं गर्म करते. So 70 degree is the heating point of ghee. If it goes above 70 degree, it will cause heart related issues. It should be taken in a thanda form, on top of your vegetable, on top of your chapati. It should be taken in raw form. If you cook in it, then you will be more prone to having diabetes, cholesterol, or hypertension.
Okay.
And the quantity which I need to tell you, it's 5 ml. 5 ml of desi ghee.
Praveen sir is asking, please advise on pink salt. And one more question that we got on salt is like, is rock salt not good in cooking food also?
No, it is not, because it is not iodized. Even if the rock salt which is available in the market, and they say they are iodized, the iodine content is not that much, which is one of the reasons for increasing the hypothyroid in India. So if you remember, when we used to be young, when we were kids, Tata salt was introduced because of increasing IDD patients. Iodine deficiency diseases were getting very common, so iodized salt came in market. But now people are again switching to rock salt, which is causing again an increase in hypothyroid and thyroid related disorders. Number one. Number two, they are very high in potassium. If your potassium level goes up, your sodium will come down. So what will happen? Somebody who is using the rock salt or pink salt for prolonged number of years, so what happens that they start forgetting things. I'm not saying कि भूल जाएंगे. Just an example, मैं कुछ बोलने वाली थी, मेरे दिमाग से उतर गया. I was about to write something और मैं भूल गई. छोटी छोटी चीजें भूलने शुरू हो जाओगे. This is majorly because your sodium levels go down. At times, if you see that it is within the biological range, 137 है. The lower is 136, it should be 139. So, slowly the sodium will start depleting and the person will be more prone to having Alzheimer and dementia. So if you see an Alzheimer patient report, you will see the potassium levels are 130, the sodium levels are 130 or 132, which is getting increased these days because people are using only rock salt.
Okay. So, Divya, one more question that we have got is, what should we have in dinner so that we don't face like issue of frequent urination during night and get disturbed in sleep?
Number one, you should have dinner on time, right? Frequent urination generally happens when you are eating. See, frequent urination happens for 2, 3 reasons. Though it cannot be generalized too much. If you're on BP medication, right, you will have frequent urination. If you are diabetic, you will have frequent urination. However, food which is high in salt will generally help you in reducing the urination, because sodium retains salt, right? Your salty food, if you eat something which is very heavy, you will not be urinating at night because it will retain that salt because of excessive spices into it. So what you need to do is you need to stop drinking water after 6 o'clock, so that your body will flush out all the water that you have taken during the day, and at night you can have a peaceful sleep. So it is more to do with your water. Plus, don't eat potassium at night. As I just said, that hypertensive people should have potassium, which is beetroot, banana, potato, sweet potato, avocados. So these five, and pineapples. So these 6 things should be avoided completely near to your bedtime, and do not have coffee. Coffee will increase urination if you have a habit of having coffee. So after lunch, do not have your coffee also. So that will help you in reducing urination at night.
Okay, that's great. So the next question that we can take is, okay, the most effective way to address vitamin B12 and D3 deficiencies.
See, vitamin B12 and D3, to be very honest, for vitamin D3, one needs to be on supplementation because the bioavailability through natural food is very poor. Even if we see that if we get into sunlight, it won't be possible for us to sit for more than 10 or 15 hours. It's a sunshine vitamin, 90% we get it from sunlight and 10% from egg yolk, mutton, fish, soya, and tofu. These are the only 5 sources, right? Kitna खा लेंगे? So vitamin D is something one need to have, multivitamin, even I take it. Plus, one thing you need to take care with your vitamin D supplement is you should take it when it is day, because it is a sunshine vitamin. It should be taken during day. Second, it is a fat soluble vitamin. Fat soluble vitamin should always be taken with some source of fat. जैसे कि हम अपने खाने में जब घी वाला खाना खा रहे हैं या normal रोटी खा रहे हैं, we have oil in it, so have it in the meal which has fat. Now come to B12. B12 again, B12 bioavailability is good. The sources of D and B12 are almost the same. Adding to it is green leafy vegetables. If you're having a lot of greens and a lot of vegetables, vitamin B12 will be absorbed by the body. Vitamin B12 is generally given along with iron and vitamin C for the best absorption. So make sure you should be having it along with a meal which does not have salt, because it is a water soluble vitamin. It should be taken with lot and a lot of water, and it generally gets depleted during summers. So make sure that your B12 levels by having all these food should be there.
Okay. So one more question that we can take, since will be running out of time. So we'll take two more questions. And okay, so what diet should be followed to control gas problem, Divya?
Okay, so though it's a very lengthy answer, gas or acidity are two different things, right? Gastric generally happens with people who take a lot of caffeine, be it in the form of tea or coffee or green tea or black coffee. So you should avoid these things completely. If you are too gastric, try to avoid the germinated food like your sprouts, right? Third thing comes your dinner. Dinner should not have protein if you're too gastric, because protein takes a lot of time to digest. So if you're having something which is taking too much of time and you do not have that much of time before your sleep and dinner, try to avoid protein for dinner, have it for breakfast and lunch. Plus, if you have acidity issues along with gastric, make your body alkaline. RO se pani nikalo, put it in mitti ka ghada. Mitti is alkaline, and have that water every day. Your body will get alkaline. The gastric issues will vanish. Not in a day or two, in a month or so. You will see a lot of difference.
Okay. So we have a very good question coming to our screen is how much does diet plays a role compared to physical activity like walking, games, gym plays in healthy lifestyle?
Okay, see, of course, you work out for an hour or two in a day, right? But you are eating till the time you are awake, right? So that answers the question. It's 30% of workout and 70% of diet. See, if we talk about weight loss by working out, by just doing a walk, only 10% people they are able to lose weight, right? 90% they don't, because it is mainly the food. But then, having said that, workout is something which is very important for everybody, be it gym, cardio, yoga, running, cycling, anything, because that keeps you mobile, right? That is good for your heart health. And apart from it, strength is very good, that because that will help you in aging gracefully. So for grace, for your organs, workout is something which is a must thing. I do my workout very regularly, so I'm completely favor of it. But diet is more important because you're following it all the day. Workout to 2 घंटे करना है. So you need to manage what you're eating. So you know what 90% of people they do that I have eaten pizza, तो कल मैं 1 घंटा ना extra run करके मैंने burn कर दिया. I consume 500 calories, I burn 500 calories. That's not how body works. When you work out, your body helps you with insulin resistance, so your body will digest food better. It's not that मैंने 500 कैलोरी खा के 500 burn कर दी तो वो zero हो गया. So only 1% of it will be burned by doing that, burning those 500 calories. Calories are basically your heart rate regulated more than what you are doing, what you are eating, or what your activity you are doing.
Thank you, Divya. Yeah. Thank you for answering so many questions that we have on our screen. So, okay, so now we'll end this session now, and we'll announce the winner in each category that we have announced in the beginning. So I'll just ask for poll, Jaspal Saran sir, are you there? If yes, please type yes in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Yes. So congratulations, sir. And for the question round, Atul sir, are you there? Atul Naik sir? Yes. Okay. Congratulations, sir.
So
So
somebody answered is already there to know whether they have won or not.
yes, there were a lot of questions coming in from them, and then yeah, thank you. Divya.